Because what we know is this is a group of students who...
The Thornton Family Foundation is part of a legacy for the late Frances Lee Thornton. She was the first African American for many different things in the journalism industry. She had a compassion for supporting animals, combating hunger, as well as providing educational opportunities for students. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is there are some pads of paper right in front of you. If you can take an opportunity and kind of write down what you'd like to do, say, within the next 2 years. So we actually started today having students identify, what do you think you're going to do in the next 1-2 years? Let's just think about that. Yes, where you see yourself in the next couple of years. So there are individuals to whom they don't know what their educational opportunities are. There are individuals who, if they didn't get the information through some way, shape, or form, they would not know. And so the Thornton Family Foundation is an opportunity to, in fact, give them the venue and the opportunity to learn about things that they otherwise would not have available to them.
So what I found is a lot of the students just weren't prepared for higher education. So what we're trying to do at College Ready is to prepare them at an early age as possible.
This was our opportunity to actually bring the students to a place and learn about different venues and avenues for them to explore their education. So we want today to actually represent things and enrichment for them to understand. What is it about the educational experience? What can I do to get to the next level? And to actually have some active, engaged activities where they plan. They get a sense of, this is what I can do. This is what I can do beyond the next 2 years, how to plan for the next 2 years, just to kind of set the stage for some things. So we wanted to welcome them, and that's how the welcome started.
I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to work at a college as a janitor. It was never in my mind that I could be a student at that school. So the reason we started College Ready, and what College Ready does is to get to students at an early age to let you know that there is something beyond high school.
We then transitioned into, in fact, an academic panel, and that panel was comprised of individuals that actually provided service information. They provided information about the 2-year experience as well as information about the 4-year experience. And again, this is to help our students that were a part of the program to know what it is their options, in fact, are. We then transitioned also to a session about financial considerations, because the reality is, even though you want to go to a 4-year institution, go to a 2-year institution, it has to be paid for by some way, shape, or form. And if you're not thinking about that right on the front end, then you actually can think about, hey, if I want to do a service opportunity, then that's something I can think about how to actually fund my education afterwards. So it gives them the breadth of understanding the different educational experiences, but also the expectations associated with those experiences.
Well, one of the keys is that we've made it, or we've achieved certain goals. We achieved financial stability, and it's important to turn around and to reach back and to help someone else do that same thing. Maybe share some kernel that lands with them so that they are interested in going to talk to someone about, well, I heard someone say.
So the educational workshop is an opportunity for students to get hands-on experience so that they can leave each of the sessions with something tangible. There are a lot of programs that create these opportunities for students to visit, and then they leave, and that's it. For this particular program, we want to make sure that students not only learn throughout the day, but they also have something tangible. So we talk about things such as SMART goals. We also talk about what is it that you need to do to plan for the next level. During the academic workshop, as we fast forward, they then have to plan. How do I get to this particular place? I've heard something about the 2-year institution. I've heard something about the 4-year institution. I've heard about military service. Didn't know that there were scholarship opportunities. How do I plan that out? So we have smaller, moderated sessions where individuals are working together to make sure that they're engaging with the students. What do you want to do? How do you get to that next point? And making sure that you're creating those SMART goals so that you have something to reach forward to as you continue on your journey.
I can relate to a lot of the students that we're working with in the room now, and I know were it not for the mentorship, for kind of the examples, the leaders in my own kind of family and social circle, that I wouldn't have been prepared for college. And I think being able to kind of be that partner and that mentor for students who know they have these goals and aspirations but don't know how quite to channel it, don't know how to navigate kind of the logistics and kind of structural barriers that applying to college and getting through college might provide, that we can be there to just kind of assist them and equip them to kind of make those informed decisions and follow through on those action steps as well.
Well, it's important because at the Naval Academy, we have to seek to find the students from across the nation to apply and attend our institution. So whenever we hear College Ready and the Thornton Foundation put an event where they're getting kids from inner city Baltimore to learn about what it takes to be college ready, we have to take part in it because those are the students that we have to let know about opportunities at the Naval Academy.
So one of the things that we emphasize for our tour, it's not so much as the venue that we're at right now. It's really about making students aware of the things that you need to focus on. So what do the buildings look like where you'll be learning? What are some of the places that you need to be aware of? Do you feel comfortable at these particular places? If you're going to be registering for classes, if you're going to be living somewhere, those are the things that students need to have takeaways, no matter what their experience is, whether it's a 2-year institution, whether it's a 4-year institution, whether it's a military sort of experience. We need to make sure that they understand that these are all components that they need to focus and take away, no matter where the experience is.
Libraries and things like that. This is one of several libraries that we have on our campus. However, you do want to think about where will I study? Where will I be able to do research? Okay, you want to make sure you know that.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
We are making an impact because what we're doing is we're bringing education to the families, to the students ahead of the time for them to start thinking about going to college. So now they're getting prepared earlier in their careers.
It was a great day.
So the initial posters were just to gauge where the students are. And then the final posters were the takeaways, because we've imparted all this information all day with them. And so now it's a question of, now that you've heard from the different individuals, now that you've actually gotten a takeaway and a plan for yourself, what do you envision? Because it's not enough to say, I want to go to college, but what do you do to make those steps? Have we impacted you in some certain way? And so we've got a number of different individuals who took a direct quote from one of the speakers. If your dreams don't scare you, then you shouldn't dream it. One thing I have learned from today was to be open to new things and to take high school as practice for college. There are individuals that have learned that the military can definitely be an enjoyable job. Follow your curiosities because they can lead to your passion. There are many opportunities out there. Always have an open mind. And that's perhaps one of my favorites, because it actually tells what the day was all about, making sure that individuals understand what their passion is and helping them to achieve that passion and to empowering them to be better. We want them to come and know that we are invested in their future and that they can make a difference, because they are our future. And so we have to keep in mind that as we prepare students, this is our future, and we want to make sure that the future is bright and it's equitable no matter where a student comes from.